Now, Australia is making it harder for skilled foreigners to get work visas. The Prime Minister, Malcolm Turnbull, says he wants businesses to prioritise Australians. Now, the United States President plans to do the same thing, putting America first, as he terms it. It sounds warm and patriotic to some, but does actually excluding skilled workers make business sense? Andre-Pierre du Plessis takes a look.
From this day forward, it's going to be only America first.
Since taking office, Donald Trump has made it clear his focus will be on hiring American. On Tuesday, he's signing an executive order bolstering that pledge, directing agencies to re-examine visas that allow foreigners to work in the US. That stance was resonated early in the day by Australia, where Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull brought an end to visas for foreign workers and will now introduce another new program.
The migration program should only operate in our national interest. This is all about Australia's interest. This is about jobs for Australians.
The majority of foreigners holding these visas in both the US and Australia are from India. The country's $150 billion IT industry supplies highly skilled workers to some of the world's biggest companies, which have a constant shortage of computer engineers. Curbing India's vast outsourcing industry, which provides jobs for millions of people, will have a dire impact on the country's private sector.
Today's global wars are not about trade or of investment, it is for talent. And a country which closes its doors to talent is, in a sense, losing out.
Trump's protectionist rhetoric is already having an impact. US employers seeking H-1B visas for foreign workers next year have fallen by nearly 20%, the first decline in 5 years. Unlike Turnbull's announcement, Trump's executive order won't immediately change the way US foreign working visas are awarded. But it represents a concrete and symbolic step towards reforming the program. It's also become a hot-button issue in France, where the far-right candidate Marine Le Pen is promising a similar freeze on visas.
This is a moratorium on long-term visas, which will last a few weeks in order to know where we are.
Clearly, the America First rhetoric is inspiring politics further afield. Yet, as tough talk on immigration has become popular outside the US, it's doing little to adequately address pockets of skill shortages that are likely to persist in these economies. Andre-Pierre du Plessis, TRT World.
Well, we're joined now by our editor-at-large, Craig Copetas, who is in Paris. Craig, I don't want to sound like a cynic, but sometimes when you think about fixing unemployment, that's a huge task. But when you start saying Australia first or America first, you can do that with very little effort and very little achievement and get good PR headlines, right?
Absolutely. Trump's protectionist rhetoric is just as unsustainable as the Democratic Party's open-door rhetoric. And the reason is if you're in the tech industry, which the argument seems to all about, tech companies have more than enough money, lawyers, and loopholes to get anyone into the United States to work for them as they want. That's just the way it is. I've spoken with immigration attorneys about this. What the ire is over are not high-income people. The ire is over bringing in the people who pick celery. And the Democrats Party wants them in because they know if they get in with visas and they get green cards and become citizens, they're going to vote for the Democratic Party. In the U.S., though, Matt, there's a much larger problem here. The tech industry doesn't have an issue with this. The issue is in the healthcare industry, because healthcare has the largest collection of foreign-trained workers of any industry in the United States. And you start taking those people out of the picture, and President Trump is going to have a much bigger problem in transiting from Obamacare to Trump Health or whatever he wants to call it.
But is it the case? Is it the case, Craig, that whilst it sounds nice to say put America first, put Australia first, if you can't find the people to replace these foreigners, if you want to call them that, you know, people are going to suffer inside your own country?
Well, they may suffer, but the way the Trumpian logic goes is that Americans will come and take these great jobs because they're great American jobs.
Except they're not paying high enough, are they?
Of course not. But Trump's base is fueled by passion and not pie charts. Let's not forget that, Matt. AP, in his report, mentioned Marine Le Pen. The same thing here in my backyard. What you're seeing out there. Okay. How bad is Marine Le Pen's economic policy? So bad that 25 noble economists today slam Le Pen's economic policy. And you know what? They couldn't have done anything better for Marine Le Pen's campaign. Her base likes hearing this. They think these economists are the ones who screwed the economy up in the first place.
Craig Copetas in Paris, thank you so much for that.